Hey everybody, welcome to Big Sexy Chat podcast. My name is Crystal.
I'm Merv.
Hi Merv.
Hi,
And we have an extra special guest today. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Yes, we're going to talk all about fat sex, or as I like to call it, sex.
Yes.
But yeah, specifically about sex and fat bodies, sex toys for fat bodies. And I'm so thrilled to celebrate fat sex with the most amazing, beautiful, sexy, funny as hell Facebook person in the world, Linnea, who's gonna her company is called Excite Me. Is that right?
Yes.
We're so happy to have you. Murph and I are huge fans of yours. Big fans.
Huge.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I immediately saw the picture of you in the bathtub covered in the condoms, and I looked at my husband and I was like, oh my God, look at this. He's like everything I want to be.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that was definitely a fun photo shoot, and a lot of lube and condoms went into making that. Pounds and pounds of it. We had 2 full suitcases that we had to dump into the tub.
So cool. So I know you're up to all kinds of fun and exciting things because I do follow you on everywhere. And, I know you and I have this in common in that we've both been educating and entertaining people about sex and sex toys. Well, for me, going back to 2003. And we know, too, that there's a lot of myths we have to dispel out there, especially about fat sex and
Yes.
dating and love and relationships and fat bodies. But for the most part, I see you're spending your day educating, you're making videos, you're making social media posts, you're doing parties, you're having events, you're talking and speaking at universities, all kinds of fun stuff. Does that about sum it up, or is there even more?
Yes, I do also sex coaching. So I have clients that I, work through issues and concerns and, even different sex toys. So I do it all.
How did you get started?
So I would say it's been about over 10 years, and it was in college. I went to college and I had my first orgasm. And I was like, oh shit, no one told, like, I've been having sex and I've never experienced this pleasure. I was like, okay, I need to talk to people about this. So that literally led me, to immerse in this sex industry. And 10 years ago, it was not nearly what it was today, or what it is today. So I would definitely say my first orgasm catapulted me into this industry. And I just tried to get as much education and network with as many people as I could within the industry, and just kind of took it and run with it. Because there was no one that I could, like, at that point years ago, could look up to or kind of feed off of or anything like that. So I, winged it for a lot of the beginning.
Could we get real personal and talk about your first orgasm?
Yes.
Did you achieve it through clitoral stimulation?
Yes. So I bought a vibrator. It wasn't the best. I went to one of the pro-romance parties, and since then, toys have gotten better materials. But my first orgasm, and it took a few times of using it to figure it out, to figure my body out. I even remember getting a little frustrated at one point because I'm like, because I never had one before, so I didn't know exactly what I should feel, exactly when it's happening, all of that. So, but with working at it, I achieved it, and then that was like my aha moment. I'm like, listen, you're gonna know about this. You're gonna know about this. You're gonna know about this. And I made it my mission, and that's still my mission to this day.
Oh, you're doing the Lord's work.
Right.
I've had so many people, reach out and ask questions about how do you become like a sex educator or a sexpert, and where did you just kind of like say, okay, I get the orgasm is like the light bulb moment, but from there, like, where did you decide, I'm going to go to school and be certified for this? And how did that go?
Yeah, so there's plenty of different avenues. Not, there's sex educators, there's sex bloggers, there's sex toy reviewers, there's sex therapists, sex podcasts. There's literally an array of different avenues now that you can take. And there's a few different schools that, you can specialize in it. I went to the Dr. Rachel Institute, which helped me with my sex coaching. But I've been involved with Elevate You, which they have an education program. And then in college, I took, so back then they didn't have a major for this. So I went with liberal studies, and I kind of made my own, like, anatomy, psychology, communications, women and gender studies. So I kind of like molded that degree to kind of fit what I wanted to do, if that makes any sense. So yeah, but there's plenty of different avenues in schools. I know even if you just do a simple Google search, you can see a lot of newer institutions coming with sex educator certificates and stuff like that. So
wonderful. Do you feel comfortable at the end of this telling us which is one of your favorite sex toys?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, let's hold that till the end, because I do want to talk. I have
a bunch of them here, so I'm ready.
Bring them on. Yeah. Oh, and I have my velvet vulva.
Oh, yeah.
You never know when we might need her. So she's a small one, but I love her. But yeah, so we want to help our listeners, because we know most of our community is going to be from the fat community. And yeah, we know that a lot of times people assume we're not sexual beings. So far from the truth.
Right.
People are like, you have sex? Yes. We have been since the beginning of time. Just like when people think you can't have a baby when you're fat. I'm like, fat women have been having babies since the dawn of time, people.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. But I guess people assume that we're not sexual beings because we're fat. I don't know what kind of bullshit they're believing, but we want to help our listeners find the best sex toy for them. If they have, like me, and they have a larger lower tummy, they have a hard time reaching things, they need longer toys, or they have smaller clitorises, all that stuff that people in our audience might be looking for. So I'm hoping you have some really great ideas and that people can buy them from you, possibly, right?
Yes, totally. I have some good ones for you, and I have my website, exciteme.com.
Okay.
Where
how do you spell that? EXXX, right?
EXXXITEME.com.
We'll put it in the notes too. Cool. So if you were going to start off somebody new, they're brand new to sex toys, where would you start them?
So I want to include lube when I talk about sex toys. That is my ultimate first recommendation. And like you mentioned before, combating misinformation, lube comes with that. I've heard it's only for old women, or it's only if you're, have vaginal, issues or something like that. And it's not. I use and recommend lube for any and all sexual activity, whether it be oral, anal, vaginal, anything that you're doing. Titty fucking, lube it up. The wetter the better, because lube is actually very beneficial, because if you have ever had sex and it kind of burns afterward, or it was like uncomfortable, those are micro tears. So lube acts as a barrier for that. So my number one thing is, start with lube and put a little bit of lube on the sex toy. I love and recommend small bullets vibrators. They are very versatile, and you can use them for almost any, sexual activity that you do. And they're less intimidating to people who have never tried them before. So that's one of my recommendations, is definitely a small bullet. For sure.
Linnea, I was just going to say about lubricant. People, I have heard this bullshit that people say, oh, it's just only if you're dry or you're old or you're like sandpaper. But to me, personally, if I have sex with no lube, it's like going for a ride in a Honda Civic. Okay, it's fine. It'll get me where I need to go. But when I add some good lube, it's like going for a ride like on my own personal jet. It's the bomb. Do I need lubricant? I could do it without. I prefer it though. There's no shame in lube. It's stupid to have some kind of stigma related to lubricant. Sometimes my body, super wet, not turned on at all. Other times, super dry, very turned on. So let's get rid of the bullshit about the lube stuff, y'all, because it serves so many purposes.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know. So, with society and what's been going on, there's a lot of respiratory issues and stuff like that. So a lot of people are taking antihistamines, Claritin, Mucinex, and stuff like that. And not only that's drying up your nose and your mucous membranes, guess what? It's also drying the vagina too. So people have said, in medications, there are so many reasons why certain things happen. And I've talked to so many people like, oh, I'm broken, I can't get wet. Like, no, that's not it at all. And then, getting into it, I'm like, well, did your partner even do any foreplay? I mean, how long was that? Did you sex during the day? Did they kiss and rub on you? Did they flirt with you? I mean, you can like really make the pussy ready for sex by just doing, foreplay. So,
as silly as it sounds, I'll say things to my partner like, if you did this chore, it really would turn on.
Yes. And that's, partners don't understand that either. If you're the main one doing all the house things and your partner's wondering why you're not having sex with them, it's like, well, if you take one thing off my plate, then that allows me the brain space to actually think about sex and want to have sex with you. So, yeah, it helps everybody.
Do the laundry, put your dick in my mouth right now.
There you go.
That is right.
Dude, it's so easy, too. I don't know why they make it so difficult, but take one or two things off. Don't make me plan dinner. I will be like your whore. What do you want? Let's do it.
Yeah, yes. Definitely.
So I have a quick question. In talking about coaching, tell us some of the myths or some of the things that you think people feel or think about sex coaches that you could dispel or maybe enlighten them about.
That we have sex with the clients. I've heard that before. Now, that's a whole different career. Sex coaches are not allowed to do that. So that's one of them. Also that we're having sex all the time. You would think like, because I'm in this industry that I'm like literally having sex all day, sucking dick all day, using toys all day. Like I just don't stop. Like people have this misconception that my life is literally surrounded by sex. I'm having sex with whoever, you know what I mean? My partner, them, this, so that, I don't know what other people's lives are, but that's, not all sex coaches do. If anything, I'm like reading and researching and looking stuff up and positions and, you know what I mean? So there's a lot that goes into it. I'm not just, spread eagle all day, just, but those are the two, kind of bigger main ones that I've heard.
Yeah. I'm a therapist, and so I regularly hear those kind of things, like just these obscure, random, like, wait, who told you that? Or where did you see that? That makes you believe that what people do. It's always surprising to me.
People would hear me talk about porn, and they would ask me, so what about this one? I'm like, okay, y'all, I have a job. I don't sit around all day watching porn. I haven't seen them all. There's millions and millions. But I guess they think, oh, well, you like some porn, so you must know all porn. And I'm like, no, actually, I don't. It's just a little bit, I know what I like.
Right. Oh, and porn. We can dive into that. I was going to say, porn is a wonderful tool. It's not reality. However, a lot of people think it's reality. And it's not. It's acting. There's a lot that goes into it that we don't see behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So,
Porn
Yeah.
stars are gold medal athletes of porn.
Yeah.
They train, they research, like you said, they do stretching and they work out and they get to know their partners and they, walk out how the scene's going to go. And this is what they do for a living. So they're not like, I'm just a regular person. I just go to work. I come home. I have dinner.
Yeah.
I'm not a porn star. I'm not training all day long to do an adult movie. I wish I could, but I don't. I mean, I'm a
Right.
porn star in my own mind, but that's about it. But yeah, people are so funny about that. It's like, those are people who are being paid to do specifically that. They're ready to have anal sex right now because they've been practicing and warming up off camera for the last hour.
Yeah, I went to the AVN Awards 2018 and 2020, and I told somebody I went, and they're like, you saw the girls? Like, you were with them? I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, what do you even talk about? They're they're human beings. What do you mean? Like, the misconception. And another one I hate about either sex workers, porn stars, sex educators is, the dirt, or STI or something like that.
Ugh.
And it's like, this industry is very well aware of their status way more than the average person walking down the street is. I would feel personally so much safer having sex with a porn star that I know gets tested often compared to people walking on the street that haven't been to clinic in years. But the people
100%.
that haven't been to the clinic in years are the one passing the judgment or saying, "Oh, the porn star," and it's just totally backwards, that whole thing.
Agreed. Yeah, don't judge. You don't know.
Yeah.
So besides the bullet style toys, which I'm in agreement with you, if you're a person who is a clitoris haver and you are trying to get the idea of sex toys and learn how they might help you, I really also believe that starting with a small clitoral vibrator is a really great place to start. Just because it's not too intimidating, right? It's not too scary. It's I think it's mostly people understand how to use it by looking at it, but I have had people tell me they thought their roommate's vibrator was an iPod. So maybe not everybody's clear on how they would use a bullet. Would you give people some ideas how they might use it if they own a clitoris and a vagina and a labia? Thank you.
So this bullet, or any bullet, you can even stimulate nipples with it. You can stimulate the lips, and you can put it directly on the clit. Let me see my bottle. So you could, go up and down with lube. You could do the clit. Anywhere that feels, pleasurable to you. There's no right or wrong way to use a vibrator, other than consent. There's no right and wrong way to use that. So whatever feels good for you is definitely, my recommendation. You play around, you figure it out, you learn your body, you try different things, you try different positions, maybe on your back, maybe on your knees like doggy style, maybe with your legs open one time, then maybe with your legs closed. One of the things with vibrators is you'll hear like, oh, well, the myth is, do they desensitize you or something like that? And it's absolutely not. The thing that they're like, I use my vibrator on the highest setting and I feel like, I can't get off anymore. You've trained your body to come in a certain way. What you need to do is train it to come in other ways as well. So switching up, like I said, the positions, different toys, different sensations, all of that will really make a difference. But yeah, just a plain bullet on the clit. Another fun thing to do with bullets, if you have a partner with a penis, so you can put the bullet on the side of your cheek and it's going to turn your whole mouth into a vibrator. You can do it underneath your chin and do that as well. And you can take the vibrator and place it underneath the balls because the erectile tissue extends underneath. And you can actually stimulate the prostate that way. So bullet vibrators are, like I said, a very multi-broad spectrum toy that you can incorporate whether you're single, with a partner, anything like that.
Agreed. And you can, if you want to use it for masturbation, works great for that. So you can get used to your body and how you might like it. But also, if you're having partnered sex with someone who has a penis or a strap on, you can continue to use that bullet and hold it on your clitoris. Or if you're like, a lot of times fat women have a larger labia, and sometimes the labia will hold the bullet against the clitoris, but you might also have to put your hand over it. But while they're inside of you, or even going down on you, it's hello. I mean, I own every sex toy known to man, and I still love me a bullet.
It's one of my go-tos. The other go-to we're going to talk about is the Satisfier 2. This right here, baby, is a game changer. I know there's a lot of, toys on the market that have air pulsation, but for, bigger bodies, the handle is, I love it because I use it during sex. So my hand's not right in the middle. I can move my hand back. And also the head of it fits nicely between my labia because, like you just mentioned, we got fat pussies. So, like something like this, the rose that's, taking the viral sensation, the internet by storm, my labia will swallow that up. And now I'm like pushing, to kind of get it right when, you could just use this and it fits really nicely.
Were you around when the womanizer made the plus size extra long womanizer?
I was, and I never got one.
It's my favorite. It's the best. I wish they would make it again.
Isn't it? It's like black and white and it's long. Oh, they probably have different colors, but
it was, I think it only came in black. Yeah. I know. It was black and white and gold. It was really, really long. And they called it like the plus size. And it was even longer than like my remote control. And it's lovely because it's so easy to reach everything. I could just be laying there.
I'm sad that they discontinued that. To me, that was a great selling point. That's one of the reasons why the Pro has as many sales as it does is because it's, it fits.
That's exactly the reason I picked up the Pro because it had the longer handle and it seemed like, okay, well, like, yeah, this will really fit perfectly for my body size.
Yes,
it does.
It's literally one of the number one toys that I, within my top 5 for, plus size bodies, honestly.
So tell people a little bit about how that suction kind of toy works. Maybe not everybody's as up to date as we are on the toys technology.
So the air pulsation toy, it surrounds, it's not direct clitoral on your clit. It surrounds it and it produces air waves or air pulsations and kind of puffs around the clit, giving it or mimicking kind of like an oral sensation around it. And I know people who have never orgasmed who have finally had an orgasm due to this technology. So air pulsation is one of the things that I recommend too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it first came out, I was like, oh gosh, is this going to be all hype? Oh no. The hype is all good. The hype is all real. Now personally, I like it directly on my clitoris. I don't, some people don't, but I do. And, I mean, to me, it feels like if you were receiving oral sex and someone was giving you suction on your clitoris at the same time, it was also vibrating. Yes. I mean, what else could you want in life?
Yes. And again, you could use this with a partner during penetration and have strong orgasms, or necessarily faster orgasms than you would, especially like during a quickie or something. It's like, oh, babe, let me get this. And let's, and then wow, we both come and then now we're happy, So definitely an amazing technology, revolutionary, I would say.
Revolutionary.
You had the vibrator, literally, and then you have this technology, and that's like the other wave of this revolution is that air pulsation technology. And you can use air pulsation technology on the balls, on the frenulum of a penis, on your nipples. I mean, again, I'm all for a multi-purpose toy. You get a lot of bang for your buck. You can use it different ways. Hey, it's a win-win.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. Yeah. It can be a little more pricey. I know the suction toys, but I see there's a lot of different price points now, from like
Yep.
$25 US to, $300. And, I don't know. I haven't found that you have to spend a lot of money on it to enjoy it. I found that even the less expensive ones are great. Of course, some are like the Lalo toys where they have a warranty and that kind of thing. But I don't know. This suction vibration, Murph, you're a fan too, right?
Oh yeah, no, I have
Yeah.
the Satisfier too,
Yeah.
the Pro, and it's lovely and exactly what you've all said. You can use it with yourself or with a partner. There's so much that can be done with it. It's a very versatile toy.
And I know since there's a lot on the market, I say that there's different pressure waves that they each have, if that makes any sense. Just like when you have a vibrator, you have the buzzy ones and you have the more deeper rumbly vibrators. For the air pulsation, you have the shorter nozzle heads that will give a different sensation than a longer nozzle head. So that can also, be used to play around with and for you to figure out what your body likes.
Totally. I have a feeling the Rose they're gonna have a lot of sales again this Valentine's Day, even though for me, I don't love it because trying to use it around my tummy between my fat thighs and getting it where I want it. And then if I need to, I just can't, it's too short for me. It's beautiful. I think it's the coolest. I love the way it looks, but not for me. It's just not. Maybe if my partner was using it on me,
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Like I said, it gets swallowed. So it's just, the curve of the wrist. And like you said, if your partner uses on you, that's a different story. That it totally is fine. But the Satisfier Pro is just more ergonomical for us. Mm-hmm.
So let's say it's your best friend's birthday and you need to buy her a gift. What are you buying her?
The Satisfier Pro, every single one of my friends has that. A bullet. And if she's a really good friend, the only dual stimulating vibrator that I really honestly recommend is the Nova 2 from WeVibe. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it.
I haven't tried it.
So a lot of the dual stimulating vibes, when you thrust, it comes off the clit. But with this one, this appendage of it stays on your clit, so it doesn't come off. So that's one of the things, and it has a longer handle, and this is a rumbly, deep,
I like
wonderful
toy.
sensations, and you can move the insertable part. So yeah, so those are a bullet vibrator, the Satisfier Pro, and if you're really my best friend, one of these. Those are like the top three must-haves that everyone that knows me has one in their nightstand.
Did you see that Liberator is our sponsor?
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's one of the things I was going to mention too. I have the Liberator heart pillow, and one of the things that's slept on, I think, in sex is pillows and positioning aids. Having a stomach to reach around, if I put pillows behind my back, behind my neck, or anything like that, it props me up more.
Yep.
So yes, positioning aids, pillows, Liberator, wedges. Oh my gosh, yes, I'm all here for that.
Yeah, that heart-shaped toy or their little home party ramp, the smaller ramp, it's also great if first of all, if you're a large person, when you get on the bed starts to, and then you get your partner on the bed and the bed starts to really sag,
Dip down.
so to speak. So you can put one of those under you, but anywhere you're laying, you can put, especially if you're laying on your tummy, it can prop up the bootay for easier access to everything. And that way it's not all, into the bed trying to get in there. It's like, oh, here we are. It's right up. It's up here. Pop it up. Pop the booty.
Yeah. And even playing around with those different angles and different heights of pillows and all that, you can get to different points in the vagina that could be very pleasurable for people. So highly recommend positional aids for sure.
Have you found that still fat women are trying to camouflage stuff and trying to hide and turn the lights off? And it's so hard just for me to just sometimes I just want to shake them and be like, turn the lights on, let him see you, let her see you. But it's still an issue, I think, right? Where people are trying to position things to hide.
I do. And I think, with society and unfortunately the messaging that a lot of us are fed through social media, through the, just general media, I still see fat bodies getting bullied and harassed a lot online. Just I think even Lizzo put up a post, and she's one of my favorites, and it just resonated with me because if you do read the comments, it's like no one is happy with her body, and why should we live for other people? You know what I mean? And it's just, you see that rhetoric happen all too often with especially plus size bodies that are loving themselves outwardly, showing it and stuff like that. So yeah, I do think it translates to the bedroom. I see, unfortunately, a lot of posts about men not publicly liking big women, but will secretly like big women, or DM, or, anything like that. Oh, you're pretty for a fat girl. You're beautiful for a big girl, or something like that. And then if you say no, or, pass on their advances, it's like, oh, you cow, or something. You know what I mean? It's just, like, what? Like, wait a minute. It's like, come on. Like, you're projecting more about you than me. So.
Yeah. I like how they're like all trying to get all up in your Lane Bryant's for a while. And then you say, no, thank you. And then fat bitch. Like, wow, that was a quick one. You were just all into me 5 seconds ago, but now I'm a fat bitch. Okay. Let's see how that works. Stupid. Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. And I don't want anyone to have to dull their energy or their shine or anything like that. And, fat, you have fat. That's, and people act like that's the worst thing you could be. And I'm like, no, there's other worse things that people could be. Okay. So.
Oh, yeah. And plus, yeah, you're so much more than your body. And also, if someone's there having sex with you, I think that means they're into you and they know how fat you are. No matter how much black you wear, we can still tell how much space you take up. But I love the work that Lizzo's doing, because she is doing the Lord's work as well. And she's really putting herself out there for all the bullshit that comes with that, And, I was just reading today about Lizzo that there was this guy that was like giving her a bunch of shit about her body last year. And then he recently died of a heart attack. And I'm like, I don't want to laugh, but hello. She's not having a heart attack, dude. You are. And he was thin. And I was like, wow, people are such fucking hypocrites. But yeah, she's doing the work, and I like that she doesn't give a fuck, which we could all use some more of that in the world.
And I like seeing the representation. Sorry.
Oh, no. I completely agree. The representation is, I wish I had that when I was a kid. Like when you see that and that's somebody that's on TV and loving their body, and I like my size and I'm powerful, and it's unheard of. It's awesome.
Did you get a chance to see the Big Girl show on Netflix that she had?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yes. And to me, people want to talk about Lizzo being fat or whatever. I would like to see you try to get up on that stage and dance and sing for 4 or 5 hours. What?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, so have you experienced situations like that? When you started out and you're talking to people about sex, and have you had any kind of discrimination against your body from people that you're speaking to, or do they seem to respond in a positive way?
I've had mixed, I guess, feedback. I try not to pay attention to that kind of stuff. I mean, I love myself, and I'm here for me and not them. So I just try not to really think about that. Of course, I have my bad days or something, or if an outfit doesn't look right, or, kind of stuff like that. But ultimately, no, because if you're a man and you're going to date me, you're going to date all of me. You're going to get all of this goodness. So you either take it or leave it. You knew how I was before we met, and that, I've always been a bigger woman, and there's no shame in my game. I mean, like I said, you're going to either like it or not. And if you don't, you can go somewhere else.
Do you
go ahead, Marsh.
We started, sorry about that. You had mentioned before we started recording that you're having an event, which I absolutely love. All the things about it, but especially the name. But you mentioned body positivity. So can you tell us about the event and how you kind of get those things together for these classes?
Yeah. So February 12th, I have a brunch event. It's called Chicken and a Dickin'. We're going to be making lipstick. So there's going to be a few shades. It's like a lipstick making workshop. And then we're going to have brunch where I have naughty penis waffles and some naughty fruit shapes. And then we're going to do a body confidence workshop and then a sex toy workshop. So I try to network and work with people that have like-minded missions and goals, and kind of want to get this information out there. And that's how I kind of look for people or network, with people. I do want to take Chicken and a Dickin' on kind of like a road tour, So yes. I was gonna say, if you have a venue, we can get it going and start doing tickets and all that. So I'm totally here for it. But yeah, just, starting these conversations. It's a Valentine's Day event. So just really creating these safe, fun, positive event spaces for people to learn, have fun, and love themselves, essentially.
I love it. Thank you. That's good shit. Plus
Thank
great name.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, Mercy was talking about taking it on the road. I was like, okay, you got to put the Bay Area on your list for sure. You got to do this. We have a good built-in audience already here, so we're ready. We're all ready for this.
I'm totally here for it.
And I assume also when you do it, it's very all gender expression friendly. So you guys are not just talking about hetero relationships or whatever.
No,
Awesome.
Anybody's welcome to all the workshops and all the classes that I've ever hosted or had. It's never usually gender specific. Even when I do couples workshops and stuff like that, anyone and all are welcome. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I love it. Yes, we like to be inclusive. We get a lot of questions about dating as a fat person. And we're looking for a person who might be like an expert in this area that we might be able to interview and have on the show. Do you know anybody, or can you think of anybody that's kind of like their world?
And for dating,
how did you meet your partner?
How did I meet my partner? Well, he's in the music industry here in Pittsburgh, and when I first got started, I kind of was in that industry, kind of trying to get my name out there. So I went to certain things, and then we, connected on the internet again. So that was kind of like how we got together.
Are you a musician?
I am not, no.
Okay.
But it was like a nightlife curated, like I was able to go to these, venues, and I could have my Excite Me stuff, and they were more open.
Yeah.
Because I've been to, venues and stuff, and being is the nature of my business, and, I get turned away a lot. But the music scene here was really one that kind of was like open arms. And so I, would set up a little table with toys or something, you know what I mean? And it just kind of like flowed into that. And I met a lot of really cool people here. Mm-hmm.
So awesome. Mm-hmm. So, I was thinking a second ago about people who are like trying to hide their toys in their home. I used to get this question asked of me a lot, but like how people are that are nervous and shy about their toys. For sure, they don't want their kids to find them. It's different if you have a Hitachi Magic Wand. It's just mommy's back massager. But what do you suggest to people if they want to keep their toys hidden from the prying eyes.
So there's really cute bags that you can get, like a satin bag, something you can wash, something that's like more sanitary. I do think that there's some like toolbox looking containers you can put it in, even a tackle box if you want. You can put it in your closet, you know what I mean, and take out, put whatever, have your lube and everything, and organize it that way. But yeah, just having some type of bag or container, a zip, let me see.
I used to say get like a box for taxes and just write like taxes 2017 on the outside, and your kids and even your housekeepers, they don't care. 2017, so boring.
Yeah, no, just nightstand under, stuff like that too. But I definitely just recommend some type of box or container or bag. They can kind of hide them too, but I do like that tax recommendation, because you're right, no one is going to go and look into that.
Yeah, right. What about if you have a partner who's a little nervous about sex toys? They feel like maybe they're going to be replaced, or it's going to, it's going to replace them, so you won't need them anymore, and they just get nervous about it. And I'm hoping that's starting to kind of go away. I mean, I know sex toys do all the heavy lifting for your partner, so if they're smart, they'll be like, "Hell yeah, babe, get whatever you want." But do you have ways to help people to kind of get over that?
That is such a huge misconception. And I know I've said it time and time again, it's not partner versus vibrator or versus sex toy. It's partner together with sex toy, with, vibrator. It's they're not your opponents, there's your teammates, and you can use them together. There will never be anything that will replace actual human connection, human touch, that intimacy, that whole experience. And nothing can honestly take that human, connection away.
When sex toys can kiss you and they smell like a yummy man right out of the shower with a little bit of cologne on, then they're in trouble. But for now, it's all good.
Yeah, when sex toys can do laundry and dishes and, back rubs and booty rub, then we're really going to have to worry. But right now, I think we're all good. They're teammates. They're definitely not versus or ands or it's together. So I really wish, I do think society hopefully is getting more on the bandwagon with using sex toys. Like you said, they can do the heavy lifting, because clits and vulvas are a little more, I would say, intricate when orgasming compared to, a penis, and anything to make the experience and the pleasure there. That's the goal. If your partner is telling you, hey, I really like X, Y, and Z, this is really what pleasures me, this is really what fulfills me, then that's what your partner should be wanting to work towards. Because if they love you, if they want you to be happy, if they want you to receive pleasure, then that you're telling them the recipe to do that.
For sure.
Now, tell me a little bit about flirting. How do you instigate a flirtatious conversation with someone? If you wanted to, give some coaching tips or something like that.
Oh my gosh. So over the years, I've gotten so professional that people are like, I was flirting with you and you just came off so professional. That playful, fun banter back and forth, it stimulates the mind. And just being flirty or saying, she's throbbing thinking about you or something like that, it just gets those wheels turning, and it builds that anticipation up, and works into that whole foreplay we were talking about earlier. And that just really gets the juices flowing, being flirty and mind stimulation. A lot, sex is very mental, so all of that really works great together. Just even simply telling someone you miss them and you can't wait to feel on their body or something like that. Like that brings that connection. You know.
I love what you said earlier about, especially for long-term couples, the flirtation starts in the morning, right? With a nice text message or a little email, or it just helps to get things rolling. If you start it, it's not like 7 p.m. at night and everybody's ready for bed, and then now you want to try to get it on. It's like, start me in the morning. Let's start creating a little thing in my brain that lets me let me get myself turned on here, okay? I'll be ready. You don't have to do anything now. If you start me in the morning, it's like the crock pot microwave oven thing, right? Women tend to be more like a crock pot. We get warmed up more slowly.
And if anyone has doesn't know like where to start or what to say, read an erotica book, listen to an erotica podcast. You only need a couple, minutes, a couple of chapters, but you can see the lingo and you can see the dialect and you can see the certain way the sentences and everything are put together to really get that, sexy, dirty talk, there. And again, like it's mind stimulating. So I know for a lot of, women, those erotic books are really how we can get really turned on, So I'm definitely here for all of that.
What is your personal favorite sex toy? Like, what's your go-to if you just need to knock one out real quick?
The Satisfier Pro. I'm going to always continue to go back to that. It's definitely the Satisfier Pro. And anything that I want a little bit more time is definitely a vibrator. I do like wands, a wand style. I do not have one here, but yeah.
What's the one that you love so much, Murph?
I have the Palm Power Extreme.
That's
and
right.
That thing is fabulous.
Is that pink and black or pink and gray?
Pink and black, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I know things by like different colors. There's so many toys. I'm like, oh wait, that's that one. Okay. Yes.
Have you ever had your dog or your animal find your sex toy?
I do not have any animals, so no. But I've had a little niece find them, and we just it was an orange butt plug, never used in my office. So I just told her it was an adult carrot, and we just left it alone.
Adult carrot? Why?
I was like, we're going to put that down now. Let's go watch TV. You want some food? Just to kind of...
Distraction.
That's funny. So would you have any tips that you could share with our listeners who might be interested in some anal play, anal penetration? Obviously, we know consent is super duper important, and lube and all that, and never use anything that doesn't have a flared end. But like, people are curious, but they're afraid, and I'm sure you must have some good tips for them.
Yeah, I always say start off small. Try it with a thumb or a finger, and then you gradually go up. Personally, when I'm about to orgasm and a thumb is placed anally, like just pressure, that's absolutely amazing. I recommend a well-placed thumb is orgasmic, and I hope everyone gets to experience that. But definitely start off small, of course, lube, and the bigger you go, of course, add more lube. But there's like different small toys that you could just go in as far as you're comfortable. And then it is easier if you're kind of in a squatting position. You know how we go, to the bathroom, and there's what are they called? The little potty stools. They go around the base and you can put your legs up on them.
The squatty potty.
Yes. So like some type of squatting position and where you are in control really helps. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're in control of the penetration, right? Like, not the person with the dildo or the penis. I think the person who's being penetrated should be in charge of the penetration. So they should move onto the dildo or the penis, as opposed to the person who's wearing it or has it jamming it in your body. It just works, in my
Yes.
experience, works much better if you are the receiver. You control all of the penetration.
Yes, and I do not recommend desensitizing gels or creams or anything. If you're going to use that, of course, a condom, because that will essentially transfer to a penis and will end up numbing the penis. And I've heard horror stories about that. So I highly do not recommend anything that desensitizes you. Please no.
Yeah. Seems
So
like it opens it up.
relaxation and breathing and lube is really the go-to, and you being in control, or whoever's receiving is in control. That's definitely the four, I guess, main points of, and I want, everyone has this movie, TV thing where the sex just spontaneously happens and it's passionate and she comes in 3 seconds and he comes and, and that's just so fake. Great sex takes planning. So if you're going to do anal eating, you wouldn't want to eat Taco Bell before that. You know what I mean? Even, doing small douches of just warm water to clean the area out. The prep with great sex is 100% necessary. And I think more people really need to understand that. Just
Well,
like the foreplay and everything.
Before I interrupt you, Murph, were you going to say something before I go on my little rant?
No.
Okay. So kind of to this point where good sex takes planning. When you're an adult, nothing fucking happens spontaneously. There's nothing in my life that happens spontaneously. My whole fucking adult life is planned out. So why are people so worried about planning a date night? I don't want to plan it. It's not spontaneous. Well, guess what? If you don't plan something, ain't shit gonna happen. You got to get something on the calendar because life fucking just keeps happening, and you have to plan for it and plan a date night and just plan it. Every time we have a date night on the second Tuesday, we're going to end our date night with sex and plan it out and make it intentional, right?
Yeah, because you know how often, okay, you're going to intentionally think about, oh, I want my bra and panties to match, or I want to wear something that I feel sexy in underneath. You know what I mean? Oh, I haven't shaved my legs and I can't even remember. Oh, but I'm having sex tomorrow. So let me, you know what I mean? There's a whole thought process that can make you feel sexy and turned on as well to prep yourself for that experience. Yeah.
I regularly will tell clientele, just like if we're having the discussion about sex, that is part of reducing your anxiety through the whole process. The more you're able to plan, the more you're able to control, therefore reducing your anxiety, making you feel more confident about it. And it gives you that ability to kind of think through scenarios. So it's not just boom, there it's happening. But we do as a culture really push this idea that you're, going to come in 30 seconds of some guy pushing himself up against you and those kind of things. And then that creates a really unrealistic example for people to follow. I will tell people constantly when we're talking about grounding yourself and breathing, like, you're not going to be a guru. You have to practice this. This is something you have to try. And I think that, like you said, that's something that really doesn't get discussed when it comes to sex, is that you have to practice and try and do all these things. And it's going to be awkward and there's going to be moments, and you have to be vulnerable to that.
Yes, sex is a learned skill, just like anything else we read books about. We, watch podcasts or whatever it is. We go to school for it. Sex is the same thing. You just don't wake up one day and are good at sex. Like, you have to, try, like you said, try new things and work towards it and figure your body out, because you're just not going to instantly know. And especially in a society where there's barely any sex education. And if it is, it's definitely not talking about pleasure. It's definitely not talking about clitoral stimulation. It's definitely not talking about any of that. So people are literally in the wind, right? And what do you do? And you have to actively want to get better and want to learn. And, maybe Googling, erogenous zones or the vulva or different sex toys or different positions. Like, there's a plethora of information nowadays, so but it's a learned skill, and there's nothing to be ashamed about that.
Absolutely. Not at all. Yeah, it is a learned skill. And people, well, they'll tell me something that somebody's had a lot of partners or whatever. I'm like, oh, they're going to be good at it. And because people have more experience are better lovers. It's just how it is. The more you practice, the better you get,
So I sometimes agree with that. Depends on if it's a heterosexual male telling me this. Sometimes they have a lot of sex that's good for them, but not good for their
Say no
partner.
more.
So,
Say no more. Yes.
We got to see where the source is coming from with that. But yes,
True. Yes, they often have a lot of confidence. I noticed too.
They have a lot of confidence and audacity.
Yes.
But we can't live.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you ever listened to our episode where Murph talks about her experiences with cannabis and orgasms and sex and stuff. Do you have much to say about that, or do you have things to recommend, or where are you at on that?
So I'm an avid cannabis user.
Okay.
I really enjoy edibles. I have lower back issue, bulging discs. So the edibles really take that pain away for me. It's helps me relax. I know that there is or I don't know if it's still on the market. There was THC lube, and I know there's CBD lubes. I highly recommend these lubes to people because it helps relax them, especially trauma survivors. And a lot of us, we get tense, and CBD or THC lube, it definitely helps relax. Funny story, I used THC lube on my clit, and I feel like I used too much and put her to sleep. So she was stoned and couldn't work. So I definitely was like, okay, let's not do like that much.
Your clit's high.
Right, she was. And I was like, okay, well, she just went to sleep, so we're going to try something else.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess a little goes a long ways.
Yes.
How funny. So I just watched that movie. Do you have a code that our clients might be able to use on your website if they want to try one of your products, your lubes, your toys, your favorites?
Yes, I have Big Sexy.
Cool.
That everyone can use, and that'll be 15% off their purchase.
And it's EXXX, so like triple X, ITE
me.com. Yep.
Cool. I'll put it in the notes too. And the code is BigSexy for 15% off. Where do your products ship from? Are they drop shipped from your different places?
Some here in Pittsburgh, and then drop ship sometimes as well from different places. But usually no longer, usually within a week or a few days.
Cool. Now, how long have you been in Pittsburgh? Are you a native?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I've been
cool.
in Pittsburgh all my life.
Nice. It's cold right now.
Oh my gosh, freezing. It was just negative, or it was just like 8 degrees or something. It was freezing. Yeah.
Does not compute.
No, we've had some really cold days here for sure.
I like the big penis in the background.
Oh, thank you. My penis pillow.
Is that what that is? Oh, very cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about this thing that seems to come up a lot with plus size women or women of size is that they're nervous to receive oral sex, and they're worried about the way their vulva and vagina look or smell or taste. And just, it's all the bullshit that we hear and read, and all stupid fucking Massengill commercials that make you think your vulva is supposed to smell like fresh flowers or a morning spring breakfast. I don't know, whatever the crap it is. But how do you get people to get over that? They're just uncomfortable receiving it. It seems it's really common in our community.
It is. I mean, if you're self-conscious about hygiene, do what makes you feel clean. If that's the way, maybe go to the bathroom beforehand, use a baby wipe, whatever you need to do to freshen up. I taste myself, so that's one of the things you could do as well to kind of get familiar with that. And you can also assist, like hold your labia open for them too if they need help. You can kind of position their hands on the top of it to hold it open. So there's different things, but there's, just the hygiene aspect of it. But there's this, like the smell, vaginas are supposed to smell. They're supposed to have a scent to them. Now, I'm not talking about odor, fit, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about, okay, something's wrong, there's infection. I'm not talking about that. They're not supposed to just taste, not like nothing. So You're going to have a scent, you're going to have a smell. If you're that subconscious about it, again, like I said, the baby wipe, do cleansing, maybe a shower beforehand, something like that. And a flavored lube helps too. There's, Wicked makes some great flavored lube, and maybe a little squirt of that on your partner's tongue, maybe a little dribble on your vulva, on your clit, whatever. And that can add some flavor to that experience as well.
Great tips. One of the sort of fat girl hacks that I've been using, and I share it with a lot of people over the years, is that because everything touches between my legs, right? My thighs, my vulva, my, the labia, it's all touching different parts of my body, right? Different skin. And so when you get skin on skin, you can get that odor that smells yeasty, and you can kind of get like a body odor because we have more sweat glands in our vulva and vagina than anywhere else on our body. So there's sweat happening down there. So what I've been doing for 1,000 years is that I take my gel deodorant, I put it under my arms, and I put it between my legs, so I never have a body odor smell there. Now, it's not edible, but if I know I'm getting ready to get busy, then I will dry it off, but at least I know it doesn't smell like BO. And that just gives me a little more confidence, because I know, as a person with a fat body, I'm making some different things going on here because everything touches. So I have to try to be aware of that. And then like, if you're dating somebody who's into vagina, they want your vagina to smell like a vagina. That's what they like.
I know. I was going to say, one of the things that I've always asked, just random guys in my life is like, what's the smell that like you just love? And they're like, when a woman's turned on. Like that's the response of like, okay, we know we're playing with the right kind of person.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
I love someone like that knows. Yes. Yes.
So tell us where we can find all of the things on social media, your website, the chicken and dickin.
Yes. So my website is exciteme.com. EXXITEME.com. I have Linnea Marie and Excite Me on Facebook. Instagram, I am on my 5th one. So yeah. So I have EX.X.XITEME. There are 2 periods in there to separate these X's, because those X's will get you erased on Instagram.
Stupid.
Yeah. And then I have Twitter as Excite Me as well. And then a simple, Google search or something, a lot of the stuff will come up. And then Chicken and a Dickin', which is February 12th here in Pittsburgh. The tickets are on Eventbrite.
Cool. Sounds like so much fun. I wish I lived closer to you. But yeah, we want you to come here and have one.
We're going to make it happen. It's going to be a big, sexy chat and Excite Me, Chicken and a Dickin'. I'm here for it.
Murph, what was that cool event that you went to recently, like last summer?
Oh, yeah. It was a goddess gathering.
That's right.
And they did, they had a person come in, do like a body confidence seminar, but it was very like sexual in nature. And then a boudoir shoot. You got to have like a photo and leave with like a sexy photo. Yeah, it was fun. Very much reminded me of the concept of your chicken and dickin'.
Totally.
And all these just random women, they all got invited and, purchased tickets. And it was so cool to be around so many other women that wanted to learn more about their bodies and sexuality and how to please themselves. And it was really powerful.
Very sexy to see a woman fully empowered like that and step into their power. It's very hot.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Very sexy.
It's just such a turn on. It's sexy. I love when everyone's their authentic self and living the life that we have one.
Yep.
And just living that happy, authentic self. We shouldn't have to minimize ourselves. Yeah.
Definitely. I agree with you. The Grammys are on tonight, just so people kind of understand where we are in the timeline of life. And Harry Styles, of course, he's very, very popular right now, but he said something earlier today, and I was like, it was just so brilliant to me. It's just that trying to tell people what your sexuality is so old-fashioned, right? Honestly, we're all on a continuum. It's all on a spectrum. And it's like, I don't have to say, I'm bisexual, I'm straight, I'm gay. I don't know. It's how I feel at that moment in time. Like, we need the whole world to move to that paradigm. You don't need to be labeled and tell people, and just go with the flow. If you feel turned on, you're consenting and safe, just go for it. Have fun, enjoy. Our bodies are capable of so much pleasure.
Is a journey where it's an ever-changing sexual journey. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, I know. He's so hot, right? I never thought I'd be into Harry Styles, but the more he talks, the more I'm into him.
Right. And he's got that British voice.
Oh, yes.
Hello. Thank you so much. We've just been looking forward to this. I'm so sorry that we had to reschedule because of my damn COVID. Can you believe I went 3 years without having that damn disease? So mad. But thank you so much. Like I said, we both adore you. We love celebrating sex and fat bodies, and I know you do too. That's what we adore about you.
Thank you. I'm honored that you even, asked me to be a guest. Like I said, I've been following you guys for a really long time. So thank you.
Yay. Thank you. And happy birthday, February baby.
Oh, thank you. A true love baby. Yes, Valentine's Day.
Yes, I'm the 13th. She's the 14th. We're in the perfect business, right?
Yes, Aquarius season, baby.
Yes. Thank you so much. Nice to see you too, Murph.
Yes, nice to see you as well.
Glad you're feeling better.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a rough week.
All right. All right. Well, after a while, crocodile.
No, it's see you later.
Oh, sorry. Oops. Pineapple. See you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
Bye-bye, butterfly.
Love it.